Coming up, Jonathan and Todd explore a rarely visited cave passage in Florida and get silted. Welcome to Jonathan Bird's Blue World.
Todd and I have returned to Cave Adventurers Dive Shop in Marianna, Florida for an adventure. 3 years ago, Todd and I came here and we met Ed Sorensen for the first time. And he took us on a dive in a cave called Twin Cave. And we were looking for the blind salamander. I'll put a link to the episode up there. So, any case, when we were on the dive, we passed this side passage that looked really cool. And I made a mental note to check it out. And now Todd and I are going to go check it out today. And it turns out it's called the side passage that we're going to go in.
The Skiles Passage.
It's called Skiles.
After Wes
Yes.
Skiles, right?
Named after famous cave diver Wes Skiles. And we're going to go check it out today. It's going to be really cool, I hope. Assuming our boat is ready.
Should be excellent.
All right, let's do it. This thing is about 1,000 years old, approximately.
What we're going to do is we're going to take our O2 bottles and get them filled. This is basically the only consumable that we really have to renew on a daily basis because we're not doing terribly long dives. We get 3 or 4 dives out of the rebreather and the sorb, and then we'll replace the sorb. But pretty much every day we want to make sure we have O2.
So I'm going to explain the dive that we're about to do. So here we have the map of Twin Cave. And when we did this dive on the salamander hunt, we started here at the entrance and we went down here. And then I saw Skiles Passage, but we didn't go that way. We went all the way down the main passage. We went down first pit and we went down into the deep, and down in here we found the salamander. Now we were on open circuit, so by then we had to turn. We were on thirds, so we turned and we came straight out. But we passed Skiles Passage, which looked really interesting. And Gus was telling me it's a fun dive, so we're gonna go check it out. And it basically, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go in the entrance, we're gonna go down, do a T here, we're gonna go down Skiles Passage, down, you come all the way around here, and then we have to make a jump back to the main line. We're gonna do a circuit, because we're going to come out a different way than we went in. And we're going to go back to the gold line, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to go up first pit, which is what we did last time, and then straight back out. So we're basically going to go around in a big circle and come out. What do you think?
That sounds like a great plan, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. With our plan in place, it's time to take the ancient pontoon boat, affectionately known as the APB, over to Twin Caves. This may or may not work.
I got it.
You got this. You got this, cameraman Todd.
I do.
Okay, here we go. Forward. He's executing this like a pro boat driver.
Almost.
What a glorious day on Merritt's Mill Pond. Merritt's Mill Pond in Marianna, Florida is famous in the cave diving world. The pond is filled with crystal clear water. It's fed by the massive flow of Jackson Blue Spring. But this diver's paradise actually has 7 diveable caves within its waters, including today's destination, Twin Caves. Located about an hour west of Tallahassee, Merritt's Mill Pond is actually a long, skinny section of a dammed-up river.
Cave Adventurers maintains a small dock near Twin Caves, making access by boat a little easier.
You want me to hop out and...
Yeah.
All right.
Grab a line.
I can run a camera and hop out and run a line. I'm a deckhand and a cameraman. Okay, you got that end? All right. So... somewhere in that dark blue over there. We'll find it. It's just so weird. It's a lake with caves.
The cave entrance is in the bottom of the pond. This will be our first time diving this cave without Ed Sorensen, the local expert. So, we have to navigate from what we remember and what we memorized from the map. We stash the tanks for easier donning in the water.
Pressurize, close.
We'll be using our KISS Sidewinder rebreathers, so we have as long as we need to complete our circuit around the West Skiles Passage.
One fell swoop like a pro.
In the pond, we head in the general direction of the cave entrance through the copious eelgrass. And the entrance to the cave is hard to miss. Todd drops in first because he's going to run our safety reel from daylight into the cave, where we will tie into the main cave line.
Once we're tied in, we can follow the main line, which we often call the gold line because it's a thick golden colored nylon. It's used because it's tough and easy to see.
Just inside the cavern zone, we drop into a depression in the floor to continue into the cave. Soon we're heading down the main tunnel, in the same route we took back in 2021 with Ed, towards the first pit.
First pit is about 1,100 feet from the entrance, but we'll be turning off the main tunnel just over 500 feet from the entrance into Skiles Passage.
It only takes a 5-minute swim to reach a hole in the floor of the tunnel, the entrance to Skiles Passage. There's a permanent line in the side passage, but it's not connected to the main line because that can cause confusion. So we connect the two with what's called a jump reel and form a kind of line bridge from the main line to the line in the side passage. This gives us a continuous line to the surface, a cardinal rule of cave diving.
I sign OK to tell Jonathan it's done, and we'll continue on.
Skiles Passage has nice white walls that reflect our light, but a very silty floor we need to stay well above.
One of the things that makes Skiles Passage so interesting is the number of depth changes. It's very dramatic. You're going up and down a lot like a roller coaster, and you need to be able to take care of your ears and clear your ears as you go through the passage, because you're doing it a lot.
Not far from the entrance to Skiles Passage, we enter a hole in the floor at a depth of over 80 feet deep. and then it starts heading back upward again. Soon we arrive at a nearly vertical chimney. I go up first. We ascend slowly, both for diving safety and to manage our rebreather PO2 and the expansion of the counterlung. At the top of the chimney, we're only 47 feet deep, so we don't have to worry about taking on too much deco. So we take our time, especially because the passage is getting narrower and the floor is insanely silty.
As the ceiling gets lower, we start to see drag marks in the sediment, probably from divers in back-mounted doubles, which can't really fit in here. In side mount, we can barely stay off the bottom, but it's so low that we are kicking it up a little.
I definitely don't want to turn around and go back out the way we came in. Soon we reach a spot where we can clearly see that the cave goes down, but the line goes up.
Our examination of the cave map before the dive led us to expect that after the short, shallow section, the rest of the dive would be deeper.
So I'm a little confused when Todd starts following the main line upwards, but he's definitely following the line.
As we ascend shallower and shallower, we soon realize this is a dead end. The line ends, there's nowhere for us to go. We've unknowingly entered the Hoocherita room.
Looking straight up, I can see the ceiling shaped like a dome. It's really silty, and we make a mess of the place looking around, then turn and head back down. I head down first to have a look at the line in the main cave. With closer examination, I can see what happened. The line looks like it's taking a turn at a tie-off, but it's actually a T. The line that continues down along the Skiles Passage is thinner and hard to see, and hidden behind the rock as you approach. After Todd and I agree that we will follow the lower line, I continue to drop down into the deeper section. Down at 95 feet, the cave is really getting low, and we soon approach the infamous side mount only restriction. It actually looks like the previous divers have dug a little channel in the sediment to make more room. It's difficult to even run the camera wiggling through here.
The guy in the front gets a pretty good view, but anyone behind them has pretty bad viz because the sediment isn't sand. It's a very fine silt that goes up into the water column with the slightest disturbance, and you literally cannot see anything.
In conditions like this, you keep one hand on the line at all times because you have to move forward by feel alone. Cave divers can get totally disoriented in these conditions and panic, And panic leads to really bad outcomes. I use my hand to protect my lens, just in case I swim into a rock.
When we finally come out the other side, we emerge into clear water and keep going.
Right on your left.
As we continue, the cave's not exactly spacious, so we still make a bit of a mess.
We have about 500 feet of cave to swim through at a depth of almost 100 feet, so the decompression will start to add up. The decompression obligation always weighs on your mind. Rebreathers give us much longer dive times than open circuit, so we have plenty of gas to do the decompression. But it can get cold and monotonous, so we hustle in the deep section.
Jonathan and I like to alternate who leads and who follows. Partly, it's so we can both get a chance to have clear water in front, but also it allows us to tell a better story as we get shots of each other.
Todd will lead for a while, then stop and get a shot of me swimming by him. Then I will lead for a while. And the guy in front always has the best view of pristine, clear water. Now that the cave is a little bigger, we can make some good time. Soon, we come to a T that we were not expecting. After having a look and knowing that our basic circuit goes around counterclockwise, we decide to go left, which is the correct decision. To the left, the tunnel is getting bigger, which is what we expect.
The T is at a place we were only expecting a sharp left. The line going right was a surprise. Turns out that the right side of the T ends at a dead end in a room aptly called Steve's Dead End.
As we swim away from the T, we're 90% certain we're going the right way. But we know that if we get lost, we can always turn around and go back the way we came. As the dive goes on, we start to see our decompression time climbing. This tunnel is 100 feet deep. Then, the line just ends.
We were expecting the line to end, but we missed a T somewhere. So we were confused to find the end of the line so soon. Here, we have to make a jump off the side passage back to the main gold line.
Here we find 2 arrows back to back, indicating that either direction is the same distance to the exit. We follow our plan and head out to the left arrow, which is the way we know. Down in here somewhere is the place where we found the blind salamander with Ed on our first dive in Twin Caves. Soon we're back at first pit and we ascend slowly. Doing big ascents on a rebreather is a little more tricky than on open circuit, because you have not just the air in your wing expanding, but also in the counterlung. As well, you have to manage the change in PO2, so slower is better.
Now we're back up to about 50 feet. and our decompression time is not adding up so quickly, but we both have about 20 minutes of decompression on the clock.
We have 1,100 feet to swim from first pit back to the entrance, which is about 10 minutes. It's a nice, big, easy passage. But I can see Todd shivering. Soon we've circled all the way back to the start of Skiles Passage, and we need to collect Todd's reel. And then we pop back up out of the depression in the floor of the cavern zone. We're greeted by the warning sign, which at the end of a cave dive is more kind of like a "congratulations, you made it" sign.
The boring part is the decompression. The good news is with the rebreather, we can add additional oxygen and flush out the nitrogen more quickly, bringing the partial pressure of oxygen up, reduces our decompression from 20 minutes down to about 10. Plus, we'll do a little extra for safety. But it's hard to do when you're so cold.
Finally, our dive computers indicate that our deco is clear. We do another 3 minutes just for safety, then up to the warm sunlight.
Not so fast. I still have to collect my other reel, which is a little bit of a challenge while holding a camera.
Todd and I often dive with much more experienced cave divers in the course of making episodes about cave exploration or life in caves. In that way, we always know we're with someone who has much more local knowledge than we do. Our circuit around Twin Caves was not just an adventure for a couple guys who love cave diving. It was also a learning experience. We had to deal on our own with navigating unfamiliar passages, a tight silty restriction, a complete silt out, and some confusing line issues. The dive was all about building experience and confidence. And there are thousands of feet of cave in this system that we haven't seen yet. So, I guess we have to come back. Hey everyone! We just released Call of the Dolphins, a new film for IMAX and giant screen theaters. Check the website to see if it's playing near you.